Today I'm going to give you 12 ideas for a series. So I have broken down today's video into 4 separate categories. If you have watched my previous video all about how to become a comfort creator in 2025, then you know that a comfort creator is basically just becoming your client's favorite creator. You do that by becoming consistent. You do that by creating a signature series. And I give more tips in the video. You can watch it after this video, linked in the cards above, as well as in the description box below. Today, I'm going to be giving you some ideas on how to create series. These series you can create, it doesn't matter what platform you use. What you want, however, is to create bingeability. You want to nurture your community. You want to build trust with them. You want for them to see you as an expert. You do this by creating a series. Today, I'm going to give you 12 ideas for a series as a part of a bigger package that I have available for you with even more series ideas that you can take and run with for yourself, totally free, in the link in the description box down below. So let's go ahead and jump in. Actually, before we jump in, let me make this caveat and brief story time because it's going to be really relevant to what we're going to be talking about as the topics come up. As we go through these, there may be a couple that you're like, Sloan, people have already done that. And yes, maybe that's the case, but no one has the perspective that you have. No one can talk about what it is that you have to talk about, share the ideas that you have about a specific topic or experience in the way that you can. And I'm going to give you an example of exactly how it is that I just lived this out literally just this week in like the past couple of days. So the Osmo Pocket 3 has been the buzz over the course of the last couple of months. You see it everywhere. Instagram, TikTok, Threads, just YouTube, freaking everywhere. You cannot escape people talking about the Osmo Pocket 3 by DJI. And for a long time, I thought that it was just clout. I have a great camera. I have the Nikon Z30. I have a ton of accessories that go along with it so that I can really optimize the use, and it's what I use for work. For me, the Osmo Pocket was just another thing to add to my gear list, which I also have a video all about, a link in the cards above. A couple days ago, I got on Threads, and as I'm on Threads, there's this guy that's talking about his Osmo Pocket settings. I watched the video only because I really liked his LUTs or color grading. What really stood out to me is his usage of the Osmo Pocket. He wasn't even trying to influence me into buying the Osmo Pocket. He was speaking directly to people that already owned the Osmo Pocket and wanted to improve their settings. What really stood out to me is the way that he told the story in terms of his usage of the device, that I was like, wow. Yes, that is a huge gap in my gear kit. The use of the camera was what ultimately, after months, influenced me into getting the DJI Osmo Pocket, which is what I'm recording on right now. And I didn't even get it, actually. I sent the video to my husband. He loved it so much that he bought it for me. He gave it to me as a gift. And so he was influenced. That really opened my eyes to this one reality that I want you to grasp. And it is your perception and your unique take on things, whether it's intentional or not, has the power to shift somebody's mind, perspective. It has the power to impact decision making. So if you feel like you're a content creator that is regurgitating some topics, or maybe it's like, oh, that's played out. People have done that. I don't want to do the same thing as everyone else. I want to be different. Number one, let me tell you that there is no such thing. The only difference that you're seeing is people's take on that. The only difference is that they're sharing their unique perspectives and the way that they do things. And that's what stands out to people. Now, with that caveat and storytelling out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into my 12 series ideas. So the first category that we have is challenges. I really love challenges as a way to either activate or re-engage your audience. The first one is training for a 5K. This one is awesome because you can do voiceover style. You can take them through the 5K. If you're local or regional, you can invite people that are also a part of the 5K or going to be registering for that 5K to join you in on this content piece as they also train to prepare for the 5K run, okay? Again, ways that you can just include your community into the journey, not just say, this is my journey, this is what I'm doing, but this is what I'm doing, and how about we just do this together? The next one is taking a sabbatical as a workaholic. You've maybe heard this one before, right? If you're not new to my YouTube channel, I hosted a 14-day series all about resting as a workaholic. And the series really opened up a lot of beautiful dialogues and actually even got me some new coaching clients because it brought awareness to this pain point that my community has. And my community is highly successful women that are trying to find this work-life imbalance, as I like to call it, so that they can continue running their business, so that they can continue living their best life, whether they're married with kids or not, and not miss a beat in their goals and not miss a beat in being present and in the things that they want to do. That behind the scenes of like, actually, I struggle to create clear lines in the sand between work and rest. And so I'm going on this 2-week sabbatical. It was after I had hosted my retreat and my conference all within like a month's time. Every day I was sharing what it is that I had learned that particular day from this sabbatical that I was taking. I say that so that you can see how your community, if you are speaking directly to them, can also be engaged. This can open some great conversations and potentially even lead to sales. Okay, so this next one I'm actually psyched about. I might actually do this series for myself, which by the way, if you end up doing any of these series, please tag me. I would love to see them. I would love to support you. But it is a We Have Food at Home challenge. We have food at home. I love this idea where it's a no spend challenge, right? Maybe you can say we have food at home, cooking at home for the next 2 weeks. Or it could even be we have food at home, recreating our favorite restaurant recipes. Maybe you can even make a poll on Instagram stories and share with them. What do you guys want to see me recreate as I go on this no spend, and who's joining it with me? The more engaging you can be with your community, the more you're going to nurture them and continue solidifying that relationship as you become their favorite comfort creator. Like improving your life in the next 5 days, right? Habit replacing, for example. Habit replacing, eliminating your obsession with phone devices or social media. For the next 5 days, we're gonna sleep with our phones outside of our room and let's see how we do, right? And instead of being on Instagram first thing in the morning, maybe we're picking up a chapter from our book. What you'll notice that a lot of the series ideas that I have, we are putting some sort of payoff in the title. This is just one really easy way that you can continue creating unselfish content. In my last Comfort Creator video, I gave you a ChatGPT prompt that you can make so that you can take your current idea and make it unselfish. So this is just kind of continuing with that same concept of, okay, how can I make something that I'm already recording? I'm huge on documenting over producing. Again, I've got a whole content series on that. So how can I take the content that I'm already recording and make it unselfish and make it relevant to my community and my audience in a way that helps them feel seen and also is really value driven? Regional or location-based content. This is great if you are a location-based content creator. There's so much content that you can create that maybe has already been done, but not the way that you're about to do it. It's not the same. We're not the same. We're not the same, okay? The first one is exploring coffee shops in New York City as an ADHD woman in my 30s. Exploring ADHD-friendly coffee shops in New York City. Exploring electronic-free coffee shops in Dallas. And then the storyline to that can be something like, you know, I've realized that I find that when I go to a coffee shop and I just sit there and I work, I'm working for hours, I'm not interacting with people. It really is becoming a bad habit where I'm addicted to being on my laptop. I'm addicted to feeling productive. When I find electronic-free spaces, I don't have that urge to sit there and be on my computer the entire time. In fact, it's really healthy for me to be in an environment where people are having conversations and they're maybe writing a book or reading a book or people watching, but I don't feel the urge to have to be productive. I could just be present, enjoy my coffee, enjoy my breakfast, and just be still for that morning. I really love this de-influencing you trend that is going around right now. I think that it is great to kind of, it's almost like a palate cleansing, right? That we're having. De-influencing you as a skincare-aholic. De-influencing you as someone that, you know, needs to save money. De-influencing you as someone that stopped trusting influencers. There's so many different ways that you can go about this. The next step is saving $10,000, saving saving $5,000, saving $100,000 in the most expensive city in the world. Let's say however, that you're not in the most expensive city in the world. What is your city known for? And do that. Think about what different spin you can take as you go the complete opposite of what your city is known for. And this kind of feeds me into my next one, slow living in the city. Maybe you're in one of the busiest cities in the world and you want to slow down. You want a slower lifestyle, but this is the busiest city in the world, or vice versa. Maybe you want to live that New York City life, but you live in Kentucky. Bringing New York to Kentucky, a series. And you talk about all the different ways that you are living a New York lifestyle in Kentucky. Maybe you have a high rise in, I don't even know if there's high rises in Kentucky. Maybe I should have picked a different city. But anyways, you look at what a lifestyle in New York City would look like, and then you replicate that where you're at. I think that would be really creative, really challenging also, and just a different take that you can have that again brings your community along for the ride, but also brings them mass value. Because in this particular example, what you're showing them is maybe you don't need to move to New York City in order to live out that life. Maybe you could still have highly creative experiences. Maybe what you're looking for is a vibe that you can recreate where you're at right now, and this is how we're gonna do that. The wheels are turning, I know they are. Our next category is the lifestyle category. Life in my 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. You can talk about the lessons that you've learned. You can talk about the lessons that you're still learning. You can talk about the things that you wish you had known. Maybe it's like being a teen mom in my 30s. I love that one. The next one is a decluttering motivation. This one is great, especially if you couple it with like a financial aspect, like decluttering motivation as we're saving 10K. Decluttering motivation, taking back control of my mental health by clearing out my space. That could be like a 5-part series. Get ready with me. I think that get ready with me's are always going to be staple content pieces. I don't think they're ever going to go away. Again, this is just one of those pieces of content that what you really want to be privy to is what is the key takeaway that they are going to have? What is the unselfish piece of value that you are giving them? Get ready with me, getting my groove back after a breakup, getting my groove back after kids. It could be get ready with me, learning to love my Afro-Latina hair. There's a storytelling piece to this that you can expand on over the course of the next 3, 4, 10 days. And this doesn't have to be something that's like concurrent. It doesn't have to be something that you do every single day. It can be a once a week series. My last one is one that I'm really excited about, and I would love for you to recreate this one because I think it's great. And it is becoming a paid content creator in 2025. The payoff here would be so I could have coworkers that I actually like. Go anonymous if you're gonna do that one. So that I can travel whenever and wherever I want, so that I could stop asking for PTO to travel, so that I could stay at home with my kids and stop paying exuberant amounts of money to daycare. What is the payoff here? Becoming a paid content creator in 2025. You've seen that so many times, but what will becoming a paid content creator do for you? And that's, I think, the question that you need to ask with every single series is what or how will this one thing do to change the life of your viewer? That's the number one question that you need to ask yourself. What is the overall payoff at the end of this story? Regardless of which of these series that you choose to do, I want to share with you some best practices as well that have made my series in the past and my challenges in the past really successful and are going to help you become successful in your series as well. My belief is millionaires are in their emails. You check your emails, or you should check your emails more than you check your Instagram DMs. If you are creating a series, my recommendation is to create some sort of lead magnet so that you can collect emails. And that way, every time that you drop a new video or a new blog or whatever, however it is that you're doing this series, you have a way of communicating with them that isn't fighting against the current of the social media noise. It's a quiet space. I know I'm gonna be at the top of their inbox. If you have a way of creating some sort of email list of some sort of communication with them beyond social media, I highly, highly recommend that you do that. It gives you more control over viewership. It also makes sure that people are remaining engaged, especially if you are making this a challenge-based series. The second thing that I would do if I were drafting out a series is making sure that I understand what my consistency is going to be. Again, is it going to be one time a week? Is it going to be 3 times a week? Is it going to be every day over the course of the next 14 days? What does that look like? What is sustainable for you? And while you don't need to script your series out, I do recommend that you have some key points to make sure that you are hitting them. Have an idea of exactly what do you need to record, how do you want to record it. Why? Because if you are creating a series and you're doing it especially in real time, it can be very easy for it to kind of get out of control and for you to lose momentum. And the energy behind content is so important. I might actually create a whole video on like the energy behind content creation, why I believe some content hits more than others, but I'll digress for now. The next thing that I would say if you are considering starting a series is being clear on the formatting that you want. You are not tied down to doing a video style series. You can make them blogs, you can make them emails, you can make them photos if that's what you want to do. Maybe you can do a carousel. I just prefer video content because I feel that that is the easiest way for my community to relate to me, to feel my energy. It also makes it really easy if people are considering coaching with me or working with me at any capacity. They now understand my teaching style. They understand my way of speaking. And again, they can just feel my energy so that they're not taken aback. It's also the easiest form of content for me to create. So if you are better as a writer, maybe what you want to do is a 5-day email series. You don't have to show up face to cam. You don't have to make a video. So figure out what format feels the best and then run with that. And then my last tip for you when it comes to creating a series is do it again. When it comes to communities, you need to get your community into the habit of engaging with you in the way that you want them to engage with you. When you have a series, it makes it again so much easier for people to know, like, and trust you because you're continuously showing up. I find that series have just been the best way for me to become more visible, but also to create deeper relationships with my community, especially because my series style it's very authentic, it's very real, it's very raw. I like to show behind the scenes. I like to show the reality of what it is I'm learning in real time. And I find that my community thrives in that space and they engage with me because of that. They trust me because of that. Once you do the series once, grab your notes, debrief, figure out what you do better next time, figure out what went really, really well, and then do it again in a couple weeks or a couple of months. Or continue that series. Maybe you found that this is something that you really love and you want to make it a longer series. Do that, but do it again and again and again because it is a great way for you to get your community continuously activated and engaged. And again, you are going to become their favorite comfort creator in 2025 with the use of series. So be sure to download the freebie that I have for you down below. I do have a ton of other ideas for you in terms of series. And if you need additional support, you can always schedule an unstuck session with me where we can powwow, where we can actually build out your series and in depth and that strategy. All of that information is down below. Thank you so much for being here. I can't express enough how grateful I am to be able to do what I do, to be able to show up on YouTube every single week and talk to you guys and share my knowledge and share exactly what it is I'm learning. So thank you so much for being here. If you haven't already checked out the Comfort Creator video and how you can become a comfort creator in 2025, I will leave it right here for you. It is definitely the best place for you to start and maybe even get a refresher if you already watched the video but wanted to remember what other steps you had to take in order to become your dream client's favorite creator. Watch it over here. Thank you so much once again, and I will see you in the next one. Sweet nightmares, Beast Fam.